Sketch a graph of each function. Make sure to show all relevant points accurately. So for question A, you know that the three roots are going to be -4, +2, and +1. And we know it's a third degree polynomial, so the basic shape of our function is going to have to rise from left to right. And each root has multiplicity 1, so we know that the function will pass through the x-axis at each root. Something like that. For g of x, we first want to make sure we know what type of a function this is. So some of you might think it's a third degree polynomial. Be careful, because this is an x squared term, and so that's really x times x. It's two linear terms. So it'll be a fourth degree polynomial, and it's got a positive leading coefficient, so it's going to be opening upwards, and behavior is going to be moving positive in both directions. And then there are three roots. There is one root at +1, there's one at -3, and then there's actually a double root at 0. And we'll talk about what that means. So the polynomial is going to cross through the x-axis at both -3 and +1, but at 0 it's going to bounce off the x-axis, because at that x squared term, when I'm at 0, it's not going to be changing from positive to negative. Anything squared is always positive, so our function will not be changing sign. So we pass through at -3, and it's going to hit at 0, bounce back off, and then pass through at +1. For h of t, this is a fourth degree polynomial. The root is, there's only one single place where it intersects the x-axis, and that is at +4, and it's a root of multiplicity 4. Right? So this actually looks really familiar, because we've just taken a fourth degree polynomial, which would normally look like this, and what have we done? Well, we've taken the root and we've moved the root over to the right 4 spaces. So this is just a translation of the parent function to the right 4 spaces. And there's my fourth degree polynomial. It's also important to note that if you were just going about graphing this function the same way that we did a and b, that you would know that the polynomial has to bounce off of the x-axis at +4. It's a root of even multiplicity, which means no matter what the value of x minus 4 is, think about it, anything to the 4th power, whether it's a negative or a positive number, is going to be positive. So even though I'm to the left of -4, or to the left of 4, so example at 0, when I plug in 0, 0 minus 4 is negative, it's a -4. But when I raise it to the 4th power, it's going to be positive. So even to the left of the root, it's going to be positive, and then of course after the root, it's also going to be positive.